Jump ahead into free agency. I don't really want to go player by player by any means. Everyone saw who we signed. I thought we would just kind of call out some, in my personal opinion, I'm going to do my top 3 that I thought were key acquisitions that could immediately help this team. And I want to lead up with someone who's not even going to be a starter. Well, hopefully he's not a starter. And that's Drew Stanton. I think bringing in a veteran quarterback to be second string, regardless of who we take, I think that bringing someone who's been in the league for a really long time, can teach the rookie, but can also be there, God forbid Tyrod gets hurt. That's your second option. You don't have to immediately lean on your rookie. I know it worked out well for Philadelphia, but, well, they also have a Super Bowl caliber team. We're not quite there yet. I mean, we did go 4-0 in the preseason, but that doesn't really count. So I think he's my number 1 coming in right now. Number 2, I'm going to be a little bit of a homer and say Carlos Hyde. I know that I'm going to get some comments because I know people want Saquon Barkley, and I'm not comparing the two. But I'm a big fan of Hyde. I think he is a step up from Isaiah Crowell. So I don't think we lost anything in the position there, and I think we can only gain through the draft, along with, as the aforementioned, Duke Johnson and Matthew Days. And then my last one, it's a little bit of a stretch, but again, going back on Greg Williams, I think we needed more corners. Now, I'm going to kind of contradict myself with my picks here, but I think adding depth to the room, I think adding depth to just the defense and just the secondary as a whole is going to be huge. Had a lot of injuries. I think we all still feel the loss of Joe Hayden. As much as we ripped on him for the last couple of years, he could have just been more for this team. So TJ Carey is my third person who I thought was going to be the biggest impact for free agency.
I'm gonna stick with Drew Stanton as my first one. I think that when we get to the draft here, that the point of him coming in was honestly to bury whoever the rookie quarterback's going to be, so that they don't do another Deshaun Kaiser. I mean, you could name quarterbacks that the Browns have drafted for years that were rushed out to the field due to an injury or the owner or the fans and media coming together, and just, the chants got too loud, and ticket sales need to happen. Otherwise, you don't have a stadium with anybody. So to start off with, I'm going Drew Stanton. His job is definitely going to be to mentor the rookie, while they put the game plan in. And he's also very important to Tyrod Taylor, because in the beginning week of the planning portion of each game that they go through, they talk back and forth, they spitball stuff off each other like we're doing right now.
Absolutely.
To what they think that will work. And Drew's been in the league long enough to know a lot of the players on other teams. He knows what corners are maybe a little jumpy. You might want to jump the routes and stuff like that. So I have a different quarterback for my thought in the draft than maybe these other guys here, but his point is definitely that. I also will go Carlos Hyde. And before I really get too far into the free agency, other 10 guys that we signed, I think that John Dorsey and his staff, I call them the Four Horsemen, I think they did a good job of not only filling holes, but you can still take whoever you want in the draft, because
great point.
They fill the holes and they do the jobs they need to, but you can still at that point take anybody you want. It's made it easier almost for us to draft the best player available and not say, well, we don't even have a free safety, so we're forced into this free safety at 4 or whatever, first pick in the second round. Carlos Hyde, I think, is an equivalent, a little better version of Isaiah Crowell. A lot of times last year, Crowell would put his head down into the back of an offensive lineman and just hope that the hole was there, or just take the loss, And Carlos Hyde is a nice addition. He does a different style of running while it's still power running. He has some shiftiness in his game. And, Todd Haley, I have to believe, will bring Duke Johnson in. And I don't know if they go running back very early at all. I mean, there's a few guys later in the rounds that I like that are going to be the spell back to Carlos Hyde. And finally, I'm going to go with a different corner. I agree with everything Zach said over here about cornerbacks that we need to bolster our defenses here. I'm actually going to go with E.J. Gaines. He was from Buffalo. He worked under Greg Williams before. We were talking about Joe Hayden and some of his injuries, and he might have got cut because if he didn't play, everyone heard the Greg Williams thing. If Joe Hayden didn't play hurt, he would be off, Greg's team. Well, E.J. Gaines played hurt a little bit, and he still played pretty well under Greg Williams, and there's a familiarity there. Chris Hubbard is a big name. I know we only did 3, but I'm going to do 4. Chris Hubbard's a pretty big name because he's Todd Haley's right tackle for the last 4 years. So he's bringing him in. He knows what to expect in Todd's offense, and he'll bring a veteran presence that'll let either Sean Coleman or Spencer Drango, or if we draft a guy, early in the second round or wherever for left tackle, they can fight that out amongst themselves in all the training camps and all that.
No, I think Drew Stanton has all been covered. I agree with that. Hyde, a jury's still out for me on that one. I think it's a good move just to get it, especially with Crow out of here now. But when we get to the draft, I'll say why. No, but nothing really stands out anymore.
So since he went 4, I wanted to add one more in there. Jeff Janis, that came over late. I think it was our last acquisition, if I'm not mistaken. Just having a veteran wide receiver in that room is something that we haven't had in a while. We've had some great coaches in the last couple of years that every wide receiver is credited, but I thought Andrew Hawkins, when he was here, kind of was that veteran leadership that just did everything that needed to be done in practice, in meetings, and I think with this young group, not saying that Jarvis Landry can't do that, but just another veteran presence, special teams, and just another guy that we need to kind of fill that room. So I just wanted to add that.
Yeah, and just real quickly to that point,
Yep.
we did reunite Jarvis Landry with his college wide receivers coach
Yes.
as our new wide
That's a great
receivers
point,
coach.
too.
So that's that's going to help Todd Haley and Jarvis Landry get used better with those extra years of experience that he had with his college coach. It's now our wide receiver coach.
It could have brought Odell, but he's going to the Giants.
It's a little tough.
apparently.
He's got one. That ship sailed.
Okay, round 2. What do you think of round 2? I think free agency was huge. I've been preaching it for months now that you need some veterans on this team. And as I said in the piece, I think the people that we got are going to be great. Just added more depth to this team, more competition at a lot of different positions, which is key. I stand by the most important impact was Drew Stanton, but I also second that with Todd Haley. So hope you guys like this one. Tomorrow's the big day. Thursday, finally, we're going to have the draft. We're going to have our picks. So I hope you guys are ready for that, because I know I am. And I know my wife is ready for it to be over. So with that, we'll see you tomorrow, and we'll catch you on the next one.